I've been told by people that's around me, like, oh, you don't take time to celebrate yourself. Oh, you don't take time to, to be happy about this or that. I'm like, bro, like, it's because
Yeah.
and it's like, you just, like, of course you're going to get times when, like, you think to yourself, oh my God, it's like, maybe I can't do it, or maybe I'm doing something, like, wrong, or
Yeah.
you're constantly fighting doubt about success, and you can't measure your idea of success compared to someone else's, or you're going to be living out someone else's life, someone else's dream.
Nobody knows what you are.
I was concerned about going out into the world and doing something bigger than myself until someone smarter than myself made me realize there is nothing bigger than myself.
If you don't believe, nobody else is going to believe.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Couple hours sleep.
Yeah.
Up, out
and here.
and then,
The brain's gonna be functioning well, yeah.
yeah.
And 3, 2, 1. Yes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode with your boys, the Paper Trail Podcast by Inspyre Entertainment. And today we've got a special guest, an honorable guest. He's a content creator. He's a social media marketing guru.
Yeah.
He's a man that knows how to get about social media. He's worked with many other people. He's worked with also Axel Blake with his social media company. Very funny guy, very cool guy, and a guy that's very Mr. International, yeah? Mr. Worldwide.
What, me?
Yeah.
This guy.
I told you I'm just going to introduce you all sorts of ways.
Yeah. Go
He's
with it.
literally just come back from, first class flight, private jetting, straight from Miami.
Something like that.
Something like that. Straight to the podcast, and he's off in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But without further introduction, we've got our boy here, Mr. Kai Beard.
Yo.
Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on, bro. This is so
of
cool.
course. No. And obviously, like I said, it was pretty much last minute, which I appreciate.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You
like,
coming through.
you hit me up to do a podcast, and I remember you saying, and I thought to myself, I don't even know, did I message you yesterday, like, out of the blue?
Yeah.
Literally, I was on my way to the airport,
Yeah.
and I was like, I have some hours tomorrow. Let's do a podcast, and why not?
Of course.
I think this kind of things.
No, I had to accommodate for you as well.
Yeah, thank you. very
So
much.
how are you? How are you feeling today?
I'm
You
feeling
got the
good.
yellow one, and obviously, I don't think many people can,
Miss
They
the
can-
yellow. Yeah,
can,
this,
work the
you know
yellow.
what I mean? Yeah. Well,
you managed to
basically,
do
I'm
it.
wearing this because it's more yellow than my teeth. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, if I distract it from my
Balance it
teeth,
out,
then maybe it looks a bit more white. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, no, but how am I feeling today? I'm feeling great, man.
Good.
I woke up this morning. Obviously, I didn't have that much sleep.
Yeah.
I got off the airport. So there you go,
man,
lack of
that's
sleep
what's
right there.
happening.
No, got back from the airport about 6:30 in the
Yeah.
morning. Had a couple hours sleep. Got up, just straight to it.
Straight to it.
Just working, sorting stuff out. Don't have much time here in the UK, so there's not much time for sleep.
Not
at
much
the
time,
minute,
yeah,
so.
of course. You know what I mean? Sleep is for the wicked. You know?
Yeah, but how are you doing today?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Like I said, I'm happy to have you on. Let's talk about Kai Beard. The surname is it would have been awkward if you didn't have a beard.
Yeah,
Is
I've
it
heard this before.
Is it pronounced Beard or is it like a bit
So
French?
here you go. Actually, my ID is there. You'll see at the top there. My last name is Beard.
Beard, yeah.
So that's on my granddad's side.
Yeah.
His last name is Beard, and yeah.
Did you grew up somewhere where no one has ever seen a beard before? They're like, you know what, this guy beard just came from
Yeah, I used to get ripped for it in school. Like, you know what I mean? You can't be having a name
Nah,
like
you
Beard
can't
in
have a
school.
beard.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And this
yeah.
was back before, like, all the people can't bully each other.
Yeah,
these
yeah,
days.
this
But,
was
like, back
when it
then,
was-
this was. Do you know what I'm saying?
When children would say the craziest thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was probably one of them as well at
Yeah.
some point. But
Of
But
course,
yeah.
of course. But this is a podcast about obviously reading books, and not just reading books, but also the creative industry, like movies and this and that. And one thing that we also like to know about our guests is from like their background of when they were younger, what inspired them.
yeah,
For example, for me, it was Lord of the Rings that
Yeah.
shaped my storytelling and how I want to convey things and stuff like that. So you growing up, were you into books, or was there like a movie or something that
I'll be
inspired you?
honest.
Yeah.
Books was not my forte when
Yeah.
I was younger. I read one book. It was in year 4, and I remember it because it was one of the best things I'd ever read.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was something about Blackbeard, and I remember I sat in class, and I have or I had struggles with concentrating.
Mm.
I wasn't also very good at reading or spelling.
Yeah,
Still not great.
Yeah.
And so I remember I got given this book in year 4, and I remember I sat and I read absolutely all of it.
Mm.
I don't remember what it was about. I
Yeah.
remember that it had an orange cover,
Okay.
and it was about Blackbeard. So if anyone, remembers this book, maybe
An
maybe
orange
you
one
can
about
comment below
Blackbeard.
or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, of course.
But yeah, that was like the only book I read
Yeah.
as a kid, really.
But what was it about that book that enticed you so much? That was it because of the beard,
Um,
or was it?
I like pirates.
Mm.
I like the mentality of a pirate. I feel like a bit of a pirate myself.
Yeah,
It's like someone that lives outside the system,
Mm.
sort of thing, and they make up their own rules and
yeah.
travel the world and
Yeah,
sail
yeah.
the seas and blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah
The traveling the world part, especially, I can
blah.
see it.
Yeah. And
You know
so-
what? In that case, I read a book a while ago. It was called Be More Pirate,
Yeah.
and it's not like a fictional. It's a non-fiction book, and I actually think you might like that. It's it was essentially talking about the essence of a pirate, essentially.
Okay.
Because a lot of the pirates back in the day, they obviously some of them were brought under the king, and then they all kind of left it, and then they started their own thing, their own
Yeah.
colonies, and their own little things, and they were like, you know what, we're just gonna live.
Mhm.
And essentially that's what it is. It's about kind of people weren't able to start radio shows
Yeah.
back in the day. You only had to be on the airwaves.
Yeah.
So then there came this pirate radio thing where people were hiding in different
Yeah,
places.
and having like the illegal radio station. and
having a
things like
legal
that.
radio
So
station, yeah.
I actually have a funny story about that. Maybe
Yeah.
we can touch on it later or now. It's up to you. But so what? One of my mum's ex-boyfriends actually used to do pirate radio, and so when I was young, I used to see them all doing it, and
Yeah.
it was all about and whatever, and they used to climb on top of the blocks of flats, and
Yeah.
they used to like hijack the aerials, and
Yeah,
put
yeah,
up all
yeah.
the stuff and whatnot. So.
But
Yeah.
how was it seeing that? That's actually interesting.
Well, obviously at the time, like you don't,
You don't
just
deep it
think-
too
yeah,
much.
you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
think-
yeah.
you just- whatever, it's just
Yeah.
happening. Obviously now, maybe in retrospective, maybe I probably didn't need to be in environments like that. But, do you know what I mean? Like, is what it is.
Yeah. But at the time, it was like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
yeah. Now, obviously, I find it very interesting in that sense that people actually went about their way to actually, like, you know what, okay, you're not allowing me. Like, the whole government
Yeah.
is saying, I'm not allowing you to do this. And then they were like, nah, you know what, we're still doing it.
Yeah.
And it's sort of that essence of essentially fighting for what you want to do and the
Yeah,
lifestyle
yeah.
that you want to make.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? And obviously, I feel like with you pretty much, that's right up your alley. You know what I mean? Going all over the place,
Yeah.
doing different things.
Yeah.
But I wanted to then ask, obviously, if it wasn't books, would you say that there was a movie that
Yeah.
sort of inspired you? Or?
So, first of all, my favorite movie when I was young,
Yeah.
hands down, Spider-Man 1, and then Spider-Man 3.
Mm.
And
Oh,
then after
Spider-Man
that,
3?
yeah, it went Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 2.
Okay,
were
that's
my
a
most
bit
favourite
controversial.
films.
That.
Yeah?
Yeah. A lot of people say that the third one wasn't
Wasn't that
great. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Even now as an adult, I still
Mm.
enjoy it, but I'm not sure if that's just because I have that kind of nostalgia
Nostalgia
feeling
to it, yeah,
as
yeah,
when
yeah.
I was young. But I think that when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of movies,
Mm.
actually. I had something like 600 DVDs.
Oh,
or
damn.
something like that.
Yeah.
And my favourite downtime, so to speak, or my favourite thing to do when I was younger, as well as like, being hyperactive.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
I swear? I was about to.
Alright,
Yeah.
go for
As
it.
well as being hyperactive as and running around the house making noises and
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, I was
Bouncing off the
I was
walls.
bonkers when I was younger. I would just love watching films.
Mm.
One of my favorite actors actually was Jim Carrey,
Okay,
and so
yeah.
some of the characters that he
That
would
he-
play,
yeah,
I would
yeah.
imitate.
And he's a very energetic guy.
yeah, and he was definitely like my definitely my favorite actor when I was
Yeah.
younger. Have you watched a film called Me, Myself, and Irene?
No.
Oh yeah, you got to watch it, man. If any of you guys have watched Me, Myself, and Irene, I used to feel like I was the main character in that
Yeah.
because I always had like my normal side, and then,
Yeah.
like my
Yeah, that little.
like my little ADHD
Yeah,
hyperactive kind of.
What was it about?
So the story follows someone who gets married. He has kids with a woman, but it's clearly someone else's kids.
Mm.
And he basically suppresses all of his anger he never expresses anything, and
Oh,
basically
damn.
over time he forms this mental disorder
Yeah.
where he basically creates this alternate person
Yeah.
that comes out when he's angry or
Angry.
whenever,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
formed from all of these years of suppressed
Yeah.
anger, and that's his way of surviving or whatnot. And this person called Hank,
Yeah.
because his original character is called Charlie, and he's a police officer. And then when
Yeah.
he becomes Hank, Hank is the opposite of a police officer. He's a troublemaker. He wants to start fights.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
does
yeah.
crazy stuff.
And this is all the same sort of guy?
This is the same
Same guy.
person, just in
Okay,
the,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
do you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And so the storyline follows that, and then he meets some girl and ends up saving her somehow, and blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
But that's fundamentally
interesting,
what the
yeah.
story's about.
Ah, of course, and obviously
And it's
you
a
said-
comedy
Yeah.
as well. So
Was it Jim Carrey?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah.
So you might have to watch it.
Yeah, I
man.
might have to check that
Yeah,
one out.
yeah.
That sounds actually pretty interesting to you.
Yeah, it is, man. It is.
Yeah, wow. And obviously that ties into essentially my next question of if there was anything that you've seen recently today that has made you go, oh rah, or like inspired you. in a
Apart
sense.
from the Andrew Tate videos I see on my Explore page.
Doubt.
You know, you know, oh, you know that one. Just like if your girl breaks your heart, you have to go to the gym. You have to work hard.
My little perspicacity.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Nah, Andrew Tate, you
so-
know, I would say he's got that be more pirate attitude.
Yeah,
So he's but obviously some of the stuff he says is just,
yeah.
you know what I think, yeah, this is a bit ironic, especially because we're on a podcast, but I feel like not everyone should have a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like in a sense of like some of the stuff that I've seen.
Yeah.
Like for example, there was this one guy, and he was talking about if he was homeless. Right, this was actually quite viral at one point. He was like, if I was homeless, I wouldn't go around begging for money.
Mm.
I would get a table and have a cardboard that says, don't give me money, just give me books.
Mm.
And then near Canary Wharf, and then hopefully one day someone would come and be like, oh, so this guy's got a lot of, you know, what's the word, tenacity, and he wants to work, and then they would give me a job, and I would end up being, you know,
Yeah.
which obviously didn't do well, because I think if you was homeless, you'd be thinking about where you're gonna stay, food, this
Yeah.
and that, and it's kind of like I see a lot of stuff that is on the internet, and it's like I feel like it's just to get a reaction from it, from people.
Yeah, well, it's an attention-seeking world,
Mm.
isn't it? Let's touch back on this.
Mm.
On not everyone should do podcasts. Let me quickly answer something that you said before, so
Yeah.
we don't go too far off track. You said, "Have I seen something recently that's inspired me?"
Yeah.
I'm really liking the AI videos at the moment and what people are doing.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you've seen them, but
I've
they're
seen like the AI like
moving-
music stuff, but I haven't seen the AI.
Okay, so have you seen the Coca-Cola advert with the AI?
Nah.
Well, if you guys have watched the Coca-Cola advert with the AI, it's extremely creative. I don't know how they made it. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
You just have to watch it. I took inspiration from that. And something else that I take inspiration from is like, do you ever watch like a video
Mm.
and it should like just, I mean, maybe you don't, maybe this is why I'm in the field that I'm in, but
Yeah.
it just gives you that feeling of, oh my God, that's sick.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, and I just love that feeling.
Mm.
And so
From the AI.
no, just in
Just
general.
in general,
Just in
yeah,
general.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, like when I watch videos that are great,
Yeah.
like, and it's really well made, and there's really cool camera angles, and it's from
cinematography,
a different
yeah.
perspective that you wouldn't have thought, and
Yeah.
it keeps you on your toes. Those are videos that inspire me big time.
Yeah.
Um,
Is that like
yeah.
the sort of videos as well that you're trying to create as well and get into?
I'll be honest with you, bro. So I enjoy making videos,
Mm.
but I don't want to continue to make videos. I want to work on big projects and
Yeah.
things like that. But to be honest, I don't really care
Mm.
about videos that much. I think for me, it's more about like automating that. So for me, it's like I don't just want to have one client and
Yeah.
like make really cool videos for them. I'm like, okay, cool. I want 1,000 clients, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna hire other video people to go and do that. Like
Yeah,
for me
yeah.
personally, I care about getting rich,
Mm.
providing a life for my future family,
Yeah, of
and
course.
scaling what I'm doing.
Yeah,
But obviously, like I do have that passion for the art,
yeah.
but it's
It's
more
not your
like
main like
nah,
priority
like
in that sense.
I enjoy it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's not something that I'm like, oh my god, I want to be this world renowned, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
of
There's
course.
guys out there that are like really that guy, and
Yeah.
that's great for them.
Mm.
But for me personally, it's more like I need to figure a way to do this 1,000
Yeah.
times.
No. Of
Do
course,
you know
of
what I
course.
mean? Throughout,
Because obviously,
yeah,
then I was gonna go into my next point, which is how you started.
Yeah.
Obviously, Beard Media. But before that, I just wanted to also touch up on the not everyone should have podcasts because
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
it
it's
did
go-
sound a bit harsh, but I'm not
Yeah.
trying to like say it in like a malicious way of like only certain people because obviously I'm in no position to say that, you know. But what I'm saying in terms of it's kind of like I feel like I get it in a sense of okay, it's provocative. I'm
Yeah.
not talking. I'm not even talking about Andrew Tate. I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah.
Like some people will just have a podcast, slap on the mic, and then they'll just say something provocative to get a reaction.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that is what gets a lot of traction because it works. I guess that's
Yeah.
the module and formula of how to get views. But it's kind of like it misses out on a lot of great podcasts that are actually out there that
Mm.
are actually beneficial and can help people out. But then instead, everything's kind of moved on to this, and then podcasts kind of get this sort of look of, oh, is this like what's this person actually talking about? What's he, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
I
more,
think there's many ways to look at
yeah,
this situation that you're describing. I think that it's I mean this pattern is repeated all through life.
yeah,
If you think about it, the person that is the more flamboyant,
mm,
provocative,
yeah,
out there,
yeah,
whatever, usually
yeah,
gets the attention. So
Yeah.
whether it be in podcasts, whether it be in other walks of life, maybe it
Mm.
be job interviews or whatever, that's typically how the game goes.
Yeah,
Do you
no,
know
of
what I mean?
course. I mean,
So
even if
you know, some obviously what you're saying is that the people that don't sell a bit of themselves, so to speak, or you know what I mean, and that actually adds value and speaks about good things, they don't get the kind of recognition that someone does that potentially is clout chasing.
Mm.
But
But
that's just how the
it's a weird,
story.
yeah,
That's
'cause
just
that
how the
is the
cookie
game.
crumbles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how it
That's the
is.
game. Yeah. Because even
Um,
I mean, I guess if it was like if you were just walking outside and you're speaking to someone, you're trying to get some people's attention. It's not gonna work the same as if there was someone half naked across the road also
Yeah.
trying to get people's attention.
Well, yeah,
He would
exactly.
get more because everyone's like, "Well, what's going on
There you go.
over here?"
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go back to obviously you and Beard Company, Beard
Yeah,
Media, Beard Company.
Maybe I should actually call it maybe
Beard
another
Company.
another company, Beard Company.
And essentially how you thought of it and how you went about creating it.
So I actually used to do pranks
Mm.
and YouTube videos back in the day.
Yeah.
I've done some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I've like stayed in IKEA overnight.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you looked like deep into
I
my
haven't
stuff,
looked
but
at. I saw some other pranks,
Right.
and, like the fitness ones, and
So if you actually go on my YouTube channel, you go deep.
Deep.
Like you will see like
Yeah.
the stuff that I'm kind of hiding now. But yeah, I've done some crazy stuff. IKEA overnight. I've dressed up as security guards and gone into places and
Yeah.
told people like you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I used to be a menace, so to speak.
Was
And,
it that bouncing off the wall, young kid
yeah,
energy?
yeah,
That was coming out,
that is basically it. And so what happened is I used to make long form videos. So my IKEA video was half an hour, and basically
yeah.
what this video is about is I was a special agent and I had to retrieve IKEA meatball recipe files because they was going to change their meatball recipe.
Damn, okay.
So I went on this quest
Yeah.
to get these
The recipe thing, yeah.
and then these two other agents from IKEA tracked me
Yeah.
down. We had a fight scene in the middle of
Oh
Kingston High
damn!
Street,
Yeah.
and then they basically got the recipe, and then I got sacked from my job because I didn't do my job properly.
Okay,
And
wow.
then my character basically went on a revenge path to
And
get
you don't
back
work
at
at
IKEA. No. And so I went to Notting Hill Carnival,
Yeah.
done an employee prank. So I dressed up as an IKEA member of staff.
Yeah.
I knew people that actually worked for IKEA at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should give a shout out to them, but shout out to them if you
If
know,
you
then you know.
Yeah.
And they let me uniform. I went and got kicked out of that one. That was in Greenwich.
Okay.
And then
all over the gaff, yeah.
and then the big one where we
Yeah.
stayed in overnight. That was the one in Purley Way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of the
Nah,
place.
nah.
And so that was the wrap up and finish of the video. And that's
So
like a
is this
half-hour
going
video.
through like all in one video or like different kind of like almost episodic?
No, that was all in one video.
in one
But
video.
obviously now
Yeah.
I understand that I could have broken that all up into
Yeah.
so many different videos. I could have had so many pieces of content. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Is what it is. But my point is
Yeah.
that I used to make these videos, and people, bigger YouTubers,
Mm.
liked my editing.
Yeah.
And so I started getting hit up by bigger YouTubers, and they're like, "Yo, I need a video edited, blah blah
Okay,
blah." Da, da,
yeah.
da. And eventually, loads of people started hitting me up. And at the time, I was boxing. I was
Mm.
working full time. I was making my own YouTube videos, and I was like, I can't be fucking bothered to edit these videos. Like, boring. So I found an editor, paid that editor to do it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, hold on here. Actually, I can make money like this. This is a good way to make money. It's like an agency thing."
Yeah.
And
Well, in
then-
terms of like, as in getting other people's videos and then getting an editor
and then getting someone else to
to
edit it.
edit it.
Yeah, and then I just kept on doing that
Yeah.
for ages, and then literally that is how Beardo Media came about.
Yeah.
The name Beardo. So one of my subscribers back in the day, he commented saying you should call your subscribers Beardos.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
no, he didn't actually comment. He messaged me on Snapchat. I remember. What's his name? I don't remember, but I remember sort of what he looks like. Some white guy with blonde hair.
Of course.
And
yeah.
and he messaged me and he was like, "You should call," because he found me through YouTube and he
Yeah.
added me in that. And he incredibly supportive at the time, and he said, "Call your subscribers Beardos." He said because your last name is Beard
Mm.
and you are a weirdo.
Oh, good.
I was like,
Yeah.
that is actually a good idea. So then that's how Beardo Media came about,
Yeah.
and it literally just went from there, bro. And that is how the company
That's
got
how-
started.
yeah.
And then I learned how to shoot videos myself. I
Yeah.
learned how to edit better, and then I've always been very business minded.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I don't actually really like working with creatives and things like that. If I'm honest with you,
How
that's not
comes?
where the money is.
Yeah. Oh, is
Also,
it-
they're quite diva-ish in ways.
Yeah.
Not everyone is, but a large majority of people are quite diva-ish, and for what they're paying you to the work you put in, it's not worth it.
Oh, as in like they're sort of asking for sometimes a bit too much.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
they're trying to also lowball you
yeah.
and-
And I don't know if you've met many people within the industry that we're all a bit, and so it's not. it's, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of thought, well, I want to make videos for businesses because
Yeah,
and
yeah.
brands because
Mm.
they have the most money, so
Yeah,
that's
true.
what's going to
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
me.
yeah.
And so I started focusing on that,
Mm.
and then started filtering out the creatives that I work with and heading more towards businesses and brands, etc.
Yeah.
But I still work with some creatives now.
Yeah.
People that have a good heart,
Mm.
people that are
That
I'm inspired
matters.
by 100%,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, of course.
And yeah.
Are you able to say, you might not have to say the name, but like one story of like a content guy trying to be a bit too divish, in terms of like essentially the type of stuff you had to deal with?
So what you'll get is like people trying to underpay you. Oh, I'll tag you, or I'll do this, or I'll do that.
Okay,
and,
yeah.
Unrealistic expectations. So we'll have a system of how we do things, and they'll be like, oh no, but I want to do it this way, and I
Yeah.
want this result. And it's like, well, look, it's not going to work
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
Like, try and work with us, and they're like, oh no, and blah blah blah, and this and that.
Yeah.
And arguments come, and sometimes what I found is like they say a lot of things
Yeah.
and then change their mind, and no, I didn't say that, or blah blah blah, and this and that. And
Yeah.
equally, I understand maybe it's because you have a busy life, maybe it's you have a lot going on, there's
Yeah.
a lot of pressure, etc., etc. But it's not easy with a company. You know, it's a lot more formal,
Mm.
a lot more professional.
Yeah, nah,
It's a
they've
lot
got
more,
people that specifically deal with that.
yeah,
That
and
know
also
what it's like.
when a company employs, not employs, but when you get a contract with a company,
Yeah.
they just want you to get on with it. You don't
Yeah,
even have to speak to them.
yeah,
Speak to them. You just get on with it. Do this, and
Yeah.
then they don't even say anything, and then you just have like a little review every couple of
Mm.
months or something. They're
No,
like,
of
all right,
course.
cool, that's done, sweet.
And like I said, like they've got, like, it's not necessarily someone that might be having a bad day. That's just like people that have a lot on their plates. That's just also having to correspond.
Yeah, do you
It's
know what I'm
people
saying?
that are in that field specifically, that like the marketers, whoever it may be, that have that time to be like, okay, this is what we want. When
Yeah.
could it be done? And then, you know what I mean, moving on
Yeah.
like that. And on top of that, like you said, I guess that's where you would get more money.
Yeah,
And-
no, exactly. And there's a lot of people. So obviously, it comes down to the individual's goals. Myself personally,
Yeah.
as I've explained already, I'm someone who does want to be rich. I want to live a great life, etc., etc. I do
Yeah.
not give a flying about being
Yeah.
famous. I do not care. And the other thing is as well, by default, I do not care about anyone who is famous. I don't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
excited by
yeah.
anybody that's got followers
Yeah.
or that's famous or this or that. I do not. I've just never really been that way. The only person who I've ever fanboyed over is someone called Hans Zimmer. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
I met Hans Zimmer.
Oh,
So
you
for
did?
those that don't know, Hans Zimmer is one of the largest, biggest music composers ever. He has done
Ever,
He
like,
has done
yeah.
the film soundtracks to probably your most favorite films.
Yeah.
He is a extremely talented man, and I met this man outside Sotheby's while I was working back in, I think it was 2016 or 2017 or something like that. And I remember seeing him, and I got so excited.
Yeah.
I ran off from my work, and I ran over to him and I said,
Yeah.
"Are you Hans Zimmer? Are you Hans Zimmer?" And he's like, "Yes, my boy." And I'm
Yes,
like, "Oh my god, your music is so inspiring, and I listen to it all the time, and I listen to it before I go and box. And oh my god, can I have a picture with you?" And blah, 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 blah. And then he's just a really nice guy, and he was with this woman at the time. I don't know if it was his wife or girlfriend or whatever. She was a bit tidy for an older woman as well, so fair play to him. And and yeah, he was a nice guy, and you know, so he really
to be
inspires
fair,
me a lot.
Like, I just saw recently he started a TikTok. I don't know if you've seen his TikTok. But he seems like a really like genuine humble guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's not the guy that's done Inception. Like, he's not, like, you know what I mean? The stuff
Yeah.
that he's done to like how he is crazy. It's like he's
Yeah.
very humble. He's like, oh, you know, I
Well,
just thought of it. Like
You know,
this and-
the people that are really, really, really cocky, and
Mm.
I actually let me be careful about what I'm saying, because I get told that I'm actually quite cocky.
Mm.
So, and what I'm about to say, it's quite funny. But the people that are very arrogant and try to be more, oh, I'm special, I've got followers and this and that, they're overcompensating. In 9 times out of 10,
There's
maybe
something
not
deeper.
every time,
Yeah.
because a lot of them also have like bad experiences and things like this, and some, you know, maybe someone's tried to rob them at some point or whatever, so they may be quite standoffish and you know whatever.
Yeah.
So there are other circumstances, but 9 times out of 10, if someone is the big I am, then I'm this and I'm that, it's because they're compensating. Because people who really, really, really are successful,
They don't really move like that.
their energy is not like that. And I think this is also just going to touch on this quickly, a really big public misconception for like billionaires and things like this. A lot of people have this idea that billionaires are these really bad
Like,
people
just
and they're
stuck
really
up
selfish
and-
and this and that. And from my understanding is these really incredibly wealthy people, the level that they have to operate and the amount of responsibility that they have to look after themselves physically, mentally, emotionally better than like probably most, because of the amount of stress and responsibility that they actually take on a day-to-day basis. So yeah,
Because especially running a multi-billion-dollar business, that's ridiculous if you think about it. Especially on, obviously they've got a lot of people that they delegate stuff like that to, but to feel like you have to sustain this and keep this going, that must be crazy.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like anyway. I feel like obviously you've got that energy, and I can obviously feel it of like wanting to actually get that, wanting to get what you want, wanting to get this, that successful life. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like I was having this thought obviously in the shower. 'Cause that's where all the
Yeah,
arguments and the
you
what's it
know,
called, the hyper thinking something chamber
the shower thoughts are listen.
are nuts, and I was just kind of thinking about this whole like the sort of dichotomy between like people that are like, I guess, successful and not successful, and all of them kind of have this level of drive and obsession that is completely different to someone that isn't there.
Yeah,
Like for example, I think it was like Conor McGregor saying it, that it has to become an obsession.
Yeah.
This passion, that thing that you're doing. Like, are you willing to put like 70 hours in, like whilst working, whilst doing everything else, to put it into this thing? And I feel like, me included, like I'm not ready to put. I don't know. There's something that stops me from putting all those kind of hours, and then it's kind of like, okay, maybe that is the reason why you haven't
Yeah.
reached that. I guess level
yeah.
of it. And like I said, from you, I can feel you've got that energy kind of
I
of that.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, so good.
There a few things that I thought is when you said how you felt about yourself. First of all, success is different to everybody.
Mm.
Success means different things to different people, and one man or woman or they
Yeah.
success is different is different to another person's success, and you can't measure your idea of success compared to someone else's, or you're
Yeah.
going to be living out someone else's life, someone else's dream.
Absolutely.
The second thing that I want to say is that if you feel that you haven't found that thing
Mm.
yet, there's two ways to look at this. You could look at it as, if you want more for yourself, then I would 100% encourage everybody that feels this type of way to keep searching, to keep finding, to keep going.
Mm.
But also is that not everybody is meant to do a lot.
Yeah.
That, like,
That's the reality of it.
yeah, like I meet some people, and myself, like I'm a workaholic, I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you. I from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed, it's always work. Just
On,
the only
on,
thing
yeah,
that
yeah,
circulates my head is work. And sometimes I actually feel sorry for some of the women that I date, or some of the friends that I have, because
There's no time.
some it's not that there's no time, but
Mm.
it's that's all I speak about,
Yeah.
and that's all I want to speak about.
Yeah.
And if you're speaking about something like football or this,
Mm.
I'm like, I'm just
You
not
just zone
involved
out,
in this
yeah, yeah, yeah.
conversation, because I'm like, I like conversations that are about self-development, that are about business, that are about money, that are about how to be a better person, how to help the world, something constructive, something
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
productive, not just, I don't like small talk about
Yeah.
things that don't really matter much to the world.
And on
personally.
that, do you not feel like sometimes that might cause a burnout? Or is
Well, the
it
thing
is
is-
it
the thing
this
is
this
my-
is the obsession that for you isn't a burnout? It's almost like a passion.
I get burnt out quite often, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
Yeah.
My friend Keely, shout out to Keely.
Yeah.
She actually calls
Shout
me
out.
King Burnout.
King
I
burnout,
mean,
yeah.
it's not a good nickname to have, of course, but I am someone that runs myself into the ground. For example, I have 2 hours sleep, and I get up,
Yeah.
and then I'm sorting everything out. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm having like 20 conversations at once, and
Yeah.
then I have to go to my storage unit, swap out all my clothes. I have to wash all my stuff. And,
Yeah.
then I go out, start doing exercise, go for a run,
Yeah.
get back, shower, rush it in, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
boom, Uber, train station, here, podcast,
podcast,
after this,
after
got to
this,
meet someone else.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like, it's a thing of like, the burnout happens accidentally,
Mm.
but when you just have a lot to do,
Yeah.
it's not about, oh, I need to go easier. It's not about, you just need to get it done. I
Mm.
do
But
have
what
my-
I'm saying is, with the burnout, it's like, what is a burnout for you?
burnout for me is I'll probably get a bit ill, and I'll probably just feel like really depressed, and
Yeah.
just just be really miserable,
Mm.
and just feel like I don't want to do anything.
Yeah. And how long can that sort of last for?
Up to 2 weeks.
Up to 2 weeks. Yeah.
But
And then the itch comes back, or is it kind of
I don't
like
stop.
you even through that?
yeah, you push
Okay.
through it.
Yeah.
It's not a thing of like, oh, I'm gonna take some time out. It's
Mm.
not that at all, because life doesn't care if you feel burnt out.
Yeah.
It doesn't wait for you.
The rent don't
The
stop.
Opportunities are, they're not. Listen, you may have £1,000,000 opportunity,
Yeah.
right? And it may be like, I'm ready for you. I'm here.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I feel a bit tired today. Bye.
Yeah.
Opportunity done.
It's
You may
done,
not
it's
get that
gone. Yeah,
opportunity
yeah,
again
yeah.
in your life. And it's like, oh,
Just like that,
I
huh?
literally could have just sucked it up
Yeah.
and got on with it, and boom, my life could have been changed.
Yeah.
But instead, you wanted to fucking lay in bed and eat ice cream.
No, it's good.
Do you know?
I
do you
know.
what I'm
I
saying?
get
And
what you're saying.
I will be honest. It does take a big impact on my mental health.
Yeah.
It does take.
But what I'm saying is, do you not feel like maybe in the long run that might come back to? Because obviously, right now you're young, you're fit, you're healthy, you're
But
able to
I
push
do
past
those
all of
things
that.
more. I do those things more to try and counterbalance
Mm.
that. You know, if I was someone that was incredibly unhealthy and I ate really unhealthy and
Yeah.
this and that and blah blah blah, you know, it'd be even worse. But I try to do things like journaling, meditating,
Yeah.
sleeping good generally,
Yeah.
eating well, speaking to people about things. I try to do these things to counterbalance the stress that I put on myself.
Yeah.
And you know, you say long term, like, is it good for you? I don't know.
Mm.
But what I do know is that as I find more success and find more money and find more resources, I will be able to invest that in myself and my health and to help me not put as much stress
Yeah.
on my body.
Of course.
But also, in the other hand, there's no sacrifice, no glory without sacrifice.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, if you're someone that wants something, from how I understand it, maybe from my boxing background,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. You have to keep going.
You have to keep. Yeah. Of course.
Because there's no room for being tired.
Mm.
There's no room for being hurt. There's
Yeah.
no room for being sad. There's no room for
all of
anything
that, yeah.
like that, because you're gonna get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
In the ring. That's how
No,
it is.
but that's what I was
And
going to say.
that
It's
is-
a lot like boxing.
Yeah,
in-
and that is how it is
Yeah.
in life. There's no room for being sad. There's
Yeah,
no room
yeah,
like, don't
yeah.
get twisted. Everyone gets sad.
Yeah.
Everyone feels depressed.
Mm.
Everyone has their down days. Everyone has a multitude of emotions and things that they need to deal
Yeah.
with. But the main thing is it sounds maybe a bit toxic, but it's how well are you at suppressing your emotions?
Okay.
that is what it comes down to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you need to deal with them at a later date. Not,
Yeah. No, but to be fair, though, that doesn't sound too toxic. But it can be in the sense of, I guess, someone saying, it's just a lot happening and I can't. And then again, the counter is like, oh, then again, it's the whole woe is me and, getting past that. But I feel like a lot of that, obviously, you did, like I said, boxing.
Yeah.
And that analogy there fits a lot of, I guess, because in that ring, you might be tired. You've just been
Right.
getting punched in the chest and the side, the body
Yeah.
shots, and
But
you can
life
barely breathe. But you have to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? I have
life
to
is like
keep
that.
going.
And it's not only boxing that's taught me that. My life has taught me that.
Mm.
In many, from when I was very young to old, my life has
Yeah.
taught me these things. So
And speaking of, obviously, in the analogy of even boxing, having a lot of stuff that might knock you down, we have to keep going. When it comes to your creative agency, what would you say was the biggest struggle of you coming up? Or like something that, felt like,
I still feel like I'm struggling now.
yeah,
Maybe I feel like this forever. I don't know. No, or
struggling
it's
in
not
what, like,
struggling,
what sense?
It's like you just figure out problems. Like right now, I have problems, obviously, that I didn't have a couple years ago,
Mm.
but they're different problems.
Yeah,
And it's like, you just like, of course you're gonna get times when like you think to yourself, oh my god, it's like maybe I can't do it, or maybe I'm doing something like wrong, or
yeah.
you're constantly fighting doubt,
Doubt, yeah.
but you can't have doubt,
Mm.
because if you believe in doubt, then you will believe in doubt.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe in doubt, then there will be no doubt.
Yeah. You kind of put a ceiling on yourself.
Of course. And you only fail when you give up, right?
Mm.
So just keep going.
Yeah.
And so to answer your question, which was Sorry, what was
Yeah, this is, the question is kind of like the struggles that you faced coming up.
So the struggles are like everyone will go through the same struggles of every business. It's like getting clients and then making the jump from quitting your job to doing your thing full time
Yeah.
and then just doing that, and then you're gonna living anxiety. You're gonna have anxiety because
Yeah.
you're like, oh my god, money, and then you're like, oh my god, my house. Oh my god, how am I
Yeah.
gonna eat? Oh my god, how am I gonna pay my stuff? Oh my god, how am I
Yeah.
gonna live like a normal person? And blah blah blah. And then that kind of pressure and stress for me, maybe it won't be the same for everyone, but that pressure and stress is what's gonna make you work
Go
because you're
harder,
like,
yeah.
listen,
You got
I
no
need to
time
make sure
chill.
my rent's paid.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
boy,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, of course.
And so it's just that, and then now it's like, so I work with a lot of other people, and now I have the responsibility of paying people, and
Yeah.
like, there's that, and for me, it's like I care a lot about the people that I work with. I care a lot about people in general, but I care about the people that I work with, and I'm like, oh, well, I need to make sure that I get this person paid, and I need to
Sort
make
it
sure
out.
that I'm
Yeah,
still
of
doing
course.
this, and I still need to make sure I'm doing that, because
Yeah.
like for me, it's like I would feel so bad if I had to turn around to someone and be like, oh, like, look, I have to like let you go, sort of thing. We just lost a contract, or we're not doing as well as this or that or whatever. I would feel like quite. I'd feel like a bit of a dickhead as well, to be honest. But like, there's all of these things that come into play,
The
and
added
like,
pressures and whatnot.
yeah, and now as well, like I'm getting a bit older. In like maybe 5-6 years, I'll be looking to have kids or whatever, and blah blah blah, and there's all of that that's on my mind. So I'm like, well, I need to make even more money now,
More money,
because I need to.
yeah, because this is
I
what's
got
gonna come up.
these
and,
things
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So now it's like, just the biggest struggle is like everything.
Nah, of
It'll always
course.
be struggle. That's just,
That's how it is.
I don't know.
Because the reason why I also ask is kind of like because sometimes I do like some freelancing work with whether it's photos or videos and stuff like that, but never the consideration of just taking this full time. And I feel like that step to just being freelance, because like you said, when you go freelance, then it's like it's all on you and the clients, and then if you're not getting clients, you're like, oh. Whereas if you have that job, it's constant flow of like income month to month.
And it's to do with comfort. You like it's. I think actually, now that I'm actually thinking about it, now that we're having this conversation, I think a lot of these things come down to how uncomfortable are you willing to allow yourself to feel.
Yeah.
I think that's a very important question to ask yourself. For myself, like, mate, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'll be honest on this podcast. Like, I have intense anxiety most days.
Yeah.
Not every day. Most days. Not everything's plain sailing.
Yeah.
At all.
What do you say you're most anxious on? Is it just kind of,
bro? It would be so many different things. There's so many different things to be anxious about.
Yeah.
It's not even anxious. It's like it's just the feeling of like the only answer to my problems is to get rich. So it's like
that's how you get beyond it. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like it doesn't matter how I feel. Like that's the answer.
Yeah.
And if I feel more anxious that day, like, don't get twisted, I will not want to work.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this stuff. Maybe I will want to lay in my bed and
Yeah,
eat ice
yeah,
cream
yeah,
and watch
yeah.
something on Netflix, but I know that's not the answer.
Yeah.
The answer to this feeling, how I'm, or all my problems, not all of them, like 98% of them,
Yeah.
get rich.
Just get rich.
Get rich.
Get money.
And I think it applies for everybody, whether they like to admit it or not.
Yeah. No, I feel like obviously I agree with that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I feel like money can obviously be a cure of a lot of, but then again, like have you heard the Diary CEO of like Stephen Bartlett, and so he basically interviews different people and whatnot. And one guy on there was talking about that. He was talking about basically a lot of people think that money would be the cure, and at a certain level it is.
Yeah.
But then that once you, let's say, get that money, then it brings about, like you said, even for you, other problems that you might have to be now sorting out.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's, especially when it comes to, because obviously I go through anxiety as well. And some of it can be cured by money, but I always feel like if I did have the money, would it actually fully fulfill me?
The answer is probably not. But I think that's like, you've got to have other areas of your life that fulfill you. Like, money for me, like, obviously money's great. I want to earn money. I want to be rich. But I also know that along with that is that I have great people around me.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
great experiences. I have great stories. I have great memories.
Mm.
I've lived a great life. You know,
Yeah.
I'm 25 years old, and I feel so thankful that, you know, I get to be here, there, and
Yeah, no, of
everywhere. I get
course,
to have fun with my work and this and that and blah blah blah. And also, like, it's about like giving back, and it's like, who are you to your family? Who are you
Mm.
to the world?
Yeah.
What are you contributing to the world?
Yeah.
What is your purpose? What do you feel like you're
Yeah.
giving? And so when you take money out the equation, or let's not take money out the equation, let's bring in money with abundance.
Yeah.
So you're saying that fear of money or whatever, the anxiety, that's when all the other stuff comes into play.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how do you feel about your
Your
life and
life, yeah.
yourself?
Yeah.
And it's good. It's a good thing that you actually said this. So back in the day, ages ago, a guy that I was working for, I had a goal to earn like a certain amount of money, and I was
Yeah.
like super depressed this year, like total mess.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
whatever, you pick yourself up, you keep going. This
Yeah.
was ages ago now though. But and he said to me, "You're not gonna feel any better when you earn that." And I
Mm.
said, "Yeah, well." And I literally remember the day I got paid that amount of money,
Yeah.
most amount of money I've ever been paid in my life. And I felt no
Yeah,
different.
no different, yeah.
But I guarantee you, if I got paid the most amount of money I got paid right now,
Yeah.
oh mate, oh happy days.
And happy days, yeah.
Because it's about all
Circumstances,
the
yeah.
other stuff that
Yeah,
you got in
yeah,
life
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Obviously, money isn't the only thing. You can't, like, you know, just want money, but you're also eating shit. You're treating yourself shit. You have a
Yeah.
relationship with friends or the people that's close to you. Like being rich isn't just about cash. It's
Mm.
being rich in love. It's being rich emotionally. It's
Yeah,
being
yeah,
rich
yeah.
physically. It's being rich mentally. It's
Yeah.
being rich with the people that you're loved by,
Yeah.
and who you love, and all of these things. That is being wealthy.
That-
That
yeah.
is being rich. And you can't be stuck, in my opinion, in my you know, as a, mine. It's not that everyone else has different
Yeah,
opinions.
yeah, yeah.
That's my opinion of successful, when you tick all these boxes in
Yeah.
your life across the board, and if one of them isn't ticked, then you're probably not going to be happy,
Yeah, yeah.
to some degree. So you got to tick all of them.
To all of them, absolutely. And now to move it on to a more positive notes, I was going to say also that you worked with Axel Blake.
Yeah,
How was
great
that?
guy, man.
Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah, Axel, he's like fat. You know, it's
Funny enough, I saw him at so one of my friends called Kevin J Comedy. He's a comedian as well. He does this like usually it's like Saturdays. Before it was like almost every week. But now I think he's got one coming up this month. I'm not too sure which day it is. But he brought him on, and he
Yeah.
also brings on other comedians and that. And I found him hilarious, but I had no idea that he was on Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah,
It was only afterwards I was like, yo, this guy's hilarious.
yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he is. He's
Yeah,
known.
it's
It's
like,
not
oh,
just me.
yeah,
That's
it
it.
must be legit. He won't. Yeah,
Yeah,
no. Axel is a great guy.
Yeah.
Axel is an interesting character.
Mm.
Very interesting. He's a very good person.
Yeah.
Axel. He is. So, you know, we was talking about the types of people that you'd want to work with in
Work
the
with,
industry
yeah.
and not work with in the industry. He is the perfect kind of person you'd want to. I mean, okay, he's not perfect, but in terms of like, he's just a great guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a pleasure to work with. I've learnt a lot from working with him and his cousin Matthew Bridgman. I'm not sure if you've heard of him.
Man.
He's a serial entrepreneur. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I've known him for about 2 years now.
Okay, yeah.
And we met at a good friend of mine's pub
Mm.
called Warren. Shout out to Warren.
Sure,
Warren has what I just want to speak about Warren.
Yeah,
quickly.
of course.
Warren is so undercover, but he connects so many people in this industry that go on to do great things. So I do
Okay,
just want to
yeah.
give a shout out to Warren.
Yeah.
And he has helped me a lot in my career. And even I was actually had a phone call with him today on the train over here,
Mm.
regarding my next networking event. But anyway,
Oh yeah, we'll get into that. We got
coming back
time
to
for that.
Axel.
Yeah,
he's a pleasure to work with. Don't get twisted. Gets on my fucking nerves
Yeah.
sometimes. 'Cause, the thing is with Axel, yeah, is like he has so much going on.
Yeah.
And I think he has ADHD as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Bounce
But
off
he's
all, huh?
like everywhere and he's got so much
Yeah.
going on and so like whatever. And that sometimes it could be like, I'd be like, oh my God, bro, like whatever.
Yeah.
But because he is just such a great guy, and honestly, he has a heart of gold. Like, yeah, it just doesn't even matter.
No, of course.
And it's weird, the relationship that we've built. It's like it feels like family. And he's definitely someone that I would want to continue working with for the rest of my life.
Oh, wow.
And his
It's a
life
great
as well.
compliment.
Well, yeah, because you find people that you just like, you know what, this is good.
This is good. Yeah.
And you know, if he keeps doing his thing, I keep doing my
Yeah.
thing, and it's both respectful. We both understand each other, and we both have a good time when we work with each other, and we complement each other. So it's one of
why not?
those
It's a
ones where it's
no-brainer,
like,
innit?
you know, this is a really great thing.
Yeah.
Um,
How did you meet? Was it through Warren?
it was through Warren. Warren had a comedy night at his pub. So he owns a pub in Blackheath called the Old Tiger's Head.
Yeah.
And shout out. And we met there, and so I think I interviewed him. Actually, I was doing like public questions, and he clocked how I was doing the interviews and that. So I would just stop talking mid-interview, and I would just check my thing, and then I would just continue speaking to him. And he made a comment a bit later on. He was like, "I knew you was the guy when like you understood, like you could just stop." And because of the editing and this and that and blah blah blah, and he could see through that I understood like how things would go and whatever. And then like I got his number. We just got talking. You know, a couple dates here and there. You know what I mean? I'm joking.
Bro, I was I was looking at it. Oh, okay, well, damn.
And you know, one thing leads to another. You know what I mean? But no, and that is it. We just started working on projects together, and then he went on Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And won Britain's Got Talent.
Okay, so this was
done
before
his
you
tour
even
stuff.
went-
Yeah. And then just that was that.
Yeah.
And then
No, because obviously I've seen the promo vids and stuff you've done for him. It's serious, man.
thank you, man.
Serious. I thought it was a rock star coming out there. I see it's him. I was like,
no,
damn.
He smashed it. He's
Yeah.
done so well, and I really do hope that he continues to rise the ranks, and I hope that he gets on TV, and I hope that he does
of
bigger
course,
shows and
yeah.
grows even bigger. Because honestly, you just have to meet him.
Yeah.
Like I think anyone that does meet him, good things deserve to happen to good people.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
definitely
He's one of those guys that deserve to win, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. To be fair, even from when he was there, you could see it because he was
Did you see the
interacting with
Did you see
everyone.
the shift in the crowd? I don't know who else was on, but like for me, like
Mm.
I've watched him compared to like other people, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention any names, but like you see the there's levels to this.
Nah, but bro, you got the way I saw him. I didn't know who he was,
Yeah.
and sometimes they do open mics, and then so I thought maybe it might have been an open mic, and maybe it wasn't. I had no idea,
Yeah.
and I was at the front, and even the way he came onto the stage, and I was like, this guy's too good to be an open mic guy.
Yeah.
And then other people on stage, they were like, oh, they're already laughing before he even jumped on, and then
Yeah.
he was interacting with the crowd, and I was like, yo, this guy is. He was probably one of the only people that actually made me like tear up, like when I'm laughing as well.
Yeah.
I barely ever.
Like creasing.
Yeah.
Like back in
couldn't
school,
breathe.
like kind of creasing.
Yeah. I was like, yo, who is this guy? And obviously,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it makes sense that he's won. I mean, Britain's Got Talent. But obviously, back to you. I don't want to just be about other people. You,
Yeah.
whatever. This is Kai. This is
Yeah.
Kai Beard. But like I said, where did you come from before you came here? I
Like
mean,
literally. the
Yeah.
podcast.
Like no, I mean, well, you said you wasn't in London for a bit. and
Oh
then you
yeah, I
flew
was in
out.
Napa for about a month,
Alright.
or just under a month.
Was it for work or was it?
Yeah, so I went out there, doing a little job,
Yeah.
and then
Because you
then I was
travel
just-
quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm always traveling. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, I don't have a house, by the way.
Oh, is
Like,
it?
I'm permanently always traveling. I have,
Okay.
I have a PO box and I have a storage unit. I come back to London, I stay at different people's houses or hotels, or maybe
Yeah.
book like a little Airbnb
But
or whatever.
that's what I wanted to kind of get
And
into, the
then-
traveling part. So how is it that? So you're like a sort of nomad. That's
Yeah.
just is it like certain few weeks at a different place, and then or is it just kind of
I'll be honest
wherever?
with you, bro. Like, I make it up as I go along.
Mm. Okay, yeah.
Like, I make it up as I go along.
Yeah.
Like I'm like my and also thing about me, obviously my close friends will know this, and the people that work with me, is that I change my mind like about a lot of things a lot.
Yeah.
But that's not because I have a change of heart. It's just you have to adapt. Like,
Adapt,
things
yeah.
happen, opportunities come up,
Mm.
opportunities go. Or
Yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? So
But do you go there on like a thing of winging it? Not winging it, but like sort of seeing what happens when you go out there, or is it kind of like you've prepared something to go out there for?
I have work all the time.
Yeah.
Like no matter where I am.
And obviously a lot of it can be
No,
online.
it's online stuff.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
And if I have, like, I don't know. So when I got jobs going on here, I got videographers that I send to jobs, and I got editors here and whatnot. I got a few videographers in Ibiza, and the last month I was trying to set things up in Iron Apple.
Yeah.
And basically, what my job is I'm director of the company, so I make sure things are running and make sure everyone's doing their work, and everything's being done. And then I'm just pitching to companies out there, bro.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm doing. And I'm literally just going around to different companies, like just advertising
selling,
what we do,
yeah.
and then just hoping to make sales, which we did. I probably didn't do as good as what I could have, if being honest with you, because I did take about not a week vacation. When I say vacation, I was still working like 3-4 hours a day, but but I'll be nah, bro.
Yeah.
I don't party.
Okay.
I don't party. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
I am probably a bit of an old man.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people. I'm definitely not boring.
Yeah,
Because I like to do fun stuff and
of course,
whatever.
of course. Yeah.
But I'm a bit of an old man. And I
But
like
you know what?
waking
It's
up
obviously
early.
because I'm Muslim and I
Yeah.
don't drink or smoke, so
Yeah.
but
To be
I
fair,
don't see it as an old man thing. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just see it as, well, for me, discipline. Really,
Yeah.
if
no, that's
you're,
good.
because I mean, I would say more discipline for you because I know the reasons why it's bad, but essentially also because I've been brought up this way.
Yeah.
Whereas for you, there isn't that
I've been brought up the
guilty
opposite.
conscience of anything else. It's just you saying, "Nah, I'm not gonna do this."
Well, yeah, and it's like obviously there's reasons behind it, but at the end of the day, it's like it just comes back down to what I'm trying to do. It's
Yeah.
like I don't go out clubbing because I think it's boring, and I
Mm.
also think that it's mindless.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna go to the club and what? I'm gonna spend drinks and dance in a club, and I'm like, yeah, like what? Like
Yeah.
I've got nothing to escape. I love my life. I can go. I can lay in bed
Yeah.
and go to bed happily because I'm
Happy,
like
yeah,
ready
yeah.
to wake up the next day, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're ready to do stuff.
you know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
got to do.
Mm.
And another thing is like, you're gonna meet a bunch of when you go out clubbing.
Mm.
Sorry,
Goodness.
but it's true.
We got
Who are
kids.
you?
here.
Who you good? I'm sorry.
Kids watch this.
Do they actually? Oh, well, this is good. Listen, maybe I shouldn't have said that word. All right, but parents, they probably want their kids to hear this. You don't need to go out clubbing. There is
Yeah.
nothing for you out clubbing. There is nothing for you out drinking. There is nothing for you. These activities are just people, like not
It's
people.
mindless, essentially.
Yes, you're just escaping
Yeah.
your life. If you love your life wholly, like if you like, for example, like I really love the routines in my life.
Yeah.
Like for me, that is like really what kind of makes me happy. So
Yeah.
like, even if I don't feel like it afterwards, I always feel great. But
Mm.
like for me, it's like wake up first thing, gym or workout or
Yeah.
running or just something
Mm.
physical.
Having a schedule,
Yeah,
like
and
not
I-
a schedule, like routine, like
Yeah,
you said.
and it's like I and don't get twisted. I wake up different times.
Yeah,
depending on
yeah.
Whatever's going on or whatever, but it's the same sort of thing every
Mm.
day. It's wake up, exercise, come back. I sit and do work. I don't shower. I don't do nothing.
Yeah.
And then I have my first meal at 1,
Mm.
and then I continue working, and it's just lighter stuff after that.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
just sorting out stuff through the day, and then whatever happens, blah, bed,
Yeah.
and then the same thing.
Same thing.
And so I actually did meet a girl out in Iron Apple,
Mm.
and I spent maybe 2 weeks with her.
Okay.
And I ended up taking like a little bit of, as I said, a vacation.
Mm.
Because I just wanted to. I was like, do you know what? I work 24/7. Let me
Yeah.
actually take some time, and I still ended up, still work anyway,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
a lot less, and it
Lot
was
less,
actually
yeah.
nice.
No,
To
of
be
course.
fair.
No, because I wanted to say this before when you were talking about your prankster thing, because I don't know if you've seen what's the kid called Mizzy.
Oh my days.
I remembered it. I wanted to say it before, but
He's oh, sorry, the kids watch this.
the kids are watching.
Oh my, are you gonna have to bleep out?
It's
Some
going
bits?
after all sorts of stuff, but
you
you can say how you feel.
all sorts of stuff. Look, so
Nah, because
this
obviously
guy-
I saw the videos, and I think for me, I saw it blow up more in because I would see his stuff before, but then when it hit American Twitter, that's when it started getting even bigger over here because I was seeing his face everywhere, and then a lot of it was just American comments underneath, or like when he went to the people's houses, and then the people's house, which by the way, side note, great house.
It was.
It
was
was
a great
a
house.
sensational house,
But
but
listen, can I tell you, if that kid would have walked into my house, I'd have kicked his ass. I wouldn't have said, "Oh yeah, sorry, I know." I listen.
because obviously they just escorted him out, but
Listen,
the
bro.
Americans were saying they would have, obviously
Listen.
Texas, he would have got shot.
He should have got his ass handed to him. That would have taught him a lesson.
That he would have never done it again, and the video would have never gone out.
Listen, and when he took that little kid,
The
that
old
woman's
lady's
little
dog, yeah.
mate, imagine if that was your nan. I'm sorry, yeah, but listen, I can't speak too much because you're saying like the demographic.
No.
I'm not
I
trying
was trolling about the kids.
Oh,
but
it's not actually kids. I'd have.
Nah.
Listen, are you, brother? Are you telling me, yeah? If you got a phone call from your nan or your mum, and she's like, "Oh, some guy," are you? Listen. Oh my days! Don't let me get started. I was watching it on Instagram. Do you know what it is? I was watching it on Instagram. I saw that he went on Piers Morgan. Yeah, I was listening. I just scrolled past it. It actually boiled my blood a bit. I was like, listen. I used to do all sorts of mad pranks and things like that. Yeah, but I never used to be. I don't know what you would even call this.
Nah, because
like,
it's
this
even
is
like
just.
I guess your pranks as well. It's kind of you're the butt of the joke.
Well, yeah, and I'm just being a clown. I was being a clown, just being stupid.
You know what I mean?
You can laugh at it like I
This is
skateboarded
actually
through Asda dressed as Snow White. Like it's nothing. Like,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? But
If
this
anything,
guy,
it's just you doing it. But this is like
he is. I don't know what you
go
would
around.
call
I
it.
think, and then he goes onto the Piers Morgan thing, and that was a shambles.
Yeah.
Here's I feel like
Look, I'm sorry. Like I don't mean to sound like a bit of a. He needs to have his ass kicked.
that's what he needs.
That's what it needs.
He needs
And, like,
good
you get
old formal discipline.
Listen, that is it. I'm telling you, yeah. If you have not had your ass kicked before, having your ass kicked teaches you so many things in life. Listen, I'm telling you, if you get back up in a fight, yeah, you will have all sorts of spiritual awakenings, bruv. Yeah, you ain't got to see no fucking spiritual guru. Ain't got to go meditate in no temple. Yeah, you get back up in one fight, and you will have all the spiritual knowledge
all you
coming to you
need,
that you
yeah.
need, bruv. And you will be like, okay, I know who I am, where I am,
this is
and
where I
this is what life is. Okay, you will be humbled in many ways. And yeah, no. So obviously, this guy, he's young, he's 18, he's a bit of an idiot. Maybe he's not going to be like this forever. He's,
Yeah, that's what I'm
clout
saying.
chasing.
I know he's not gonna.
Whatever.
It's gonna go down that same, like sort of. Do you remember like that Jake Paul route of when he first started jumping on news vans and this and that, and it was his way of just trying to like bad publicity is good publicity. That's how he's seen it. Like he went to jail, his friends are videoing him. He's like,
No,
this
look,
guy."
I think the kid's an idiot, but I don't want to speak on that anymore. I don't want to give him any more
Daily
attention.
was yeah, because I just remembered that from obviously when you said the price. Now
Yeah.
it's getting out of hand. You know what I mean? If this is
Yeah.
the route that people are taking, my word. But no, I wanted to let's talk about your networking thing, your connected network.
Yeah.
That's much more of a happier thought for you, obviously.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I was actually obviously meant to go to
Yeah, what happened, bro?
one of them, but I wasn't able to.
What happened, bro?
I wasn't able to. You know what I mean? I had
What happened, bro?
a few things came up.
Yeah,
few
come
important
on.
things.
Look, I have to sort a little thing out here, a little thing out there. You know what I mean?
Nah, but I did want to go because I do like those kind of networking events and meeting different people that you usually wouldn't meet
Yeah.
ever.
Well, look, bro. Like, that's how you get clients, man.
Yeah,
Like, come on. You got. Like, I'm gonna break it down in this podcast, right?
go for it.
I set up that networking event number one because it's great to bring people together.
Yeah,
You know, it's good to create a network of people. 95% of my clients come through networking.
Mm.
The other 5% referrals.
Oh, okay, yeah. You don't do like cold emails or
I don't get no
Anything like that?
replies, so what's the point? I don't.
you never know.
I don't get replies from me, man, and
Yeah.
it breaks my heart. It makes me too depressed. I'm like, no. But obviously, eventually, when I have more, you know, money to invest in,
Yeah.
you know, like adverts and this
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that and blah 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 blah. But for now, it's working for
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it's doing. But obviously, there's always levels to marketing and advertising, whatever. Then yeah, I would do that.
Mm.
But essentially, it's all networking.
And bringing people that is it like not just people in creative fields? Is it just anyone?
It is entrepreneurs, startups, business people, and creatives,
Mm.
and we're bringing those people together.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was really great. I can't
Yeah.
lie. That was my first event, and it was a success.
Yeah.
It
To be
was
fair, I
so
saw the obviously for your I think you put it on your highlights on your Instagram, and there
Yeah.
was quite a big turnout.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I was stressing. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, no one's gonna turn up. Blah blah blah. Da, da, da. But then yeah,
How long did it
went
take you to like put it together?
a month.
A month.
Yeah.
How many
Maybe
more are
just
you
under.
looking to do?
It'll probably be a thing that I'd try and do forever. To be honest, I have big ambitions.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Because obviously I'm trying to know when's the next one.
The 28th of June,
28th of June.
Shoreditch.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be there, but I'll be there in spirit.
Why? Were you busy?
Nah, I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm joking.
it's like, I'm busy that day. Washing my hair that day.
Just already busy.
I'm washing my hair that day. That's sorry, I can't make it. But yeah. So with the Connect and Conquer brand, where I'd like it to go is what?
Nah, it's just what you said. I was washing my hair.
I want it to be something global that brings people together.
Yeah.
I just want it to be like the let me try and think of like something. So you know, like Xbox Live or like PlayStation, whatever.
Yeah.
You know how it brings people together.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be like that, but for like networking.
Networking.
So it's like I just want it to be like the most notorious networking event you can go to. It's like a famous thing. It's like
it's happening.
yeah, it's like
Let's-
we're gonna go to a Connect and Conquer networking event because that's just what it like. You know what I mean? Bring everyone together, connect people, make like a premium members club, like a VIP thing. And something I'm planning at the moment is an entrepreneurial like getaway, like boot camp getaway.
Okay, yeah.
So like businessmen, entrepreneurs, etc., can pay to come away. There'll be like courses, public speaking things, etc., etc. I won't go into too much detail about it. And there's going to be loads of fun activities and personal trainer. I'm saying I won't go too much into it. Still talking about it.
no. Because it sounds like a great
and then
show.
so doing things like that, and yeah, I really do care about connecting people and bringing people together and helping people and educating people, and also at the same time, like I get to learn as well. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like on stage speaking to people, and it's like first hand information. And also as well, like it helps me with what I'm doing, find more clients. And yeah, I think the more people you know, the better.
Yeah, no, of course.
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
what's so crazy about all of this is I'm only 25. That's just
I feel like I'm mad underachieving, bro.
Huh?
You know, there's like 19-year-olds who are like multi-millionaires.
nah, but it's so, you know, sometimes though, even because I guess I watch a lot of social media, like there's a certain level of like people that I guess blow up, but then I forgot who was saying this. I think I forgot who it was, but he was saying that some people they blow up, but then they don't have enough infrastructure to maintain that blow up.
Yeah.
So they might go viral once, and then they don't have enough backlog of content or like the capacity to be able to keep that going.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like you've built all that up, and now at 25, it's like you're hella young, and you've got all the sort of foundations to keep on going. I get and I understand a 19-year-old that's got a thing, but sometimes they might not be able to sustain such a thing. And what you've got is that depth, that
Thank
knowledge, and that leads to the wisdom to make decisions better than someone else would.
I
You know what I mean?
appreciate that. I mean, it's not obviously nice to hear that. Obviously, I don't.
Because there's some people that are older that'll be like, oh, he's 25, and I know 25-year-olds that are, you know, doing this and that. Well, I necessarily might not have that much, and it's the fact that your ability to just keep going. And obviously, you do seem like someone that is able to achieve what he's got. From what I can see, anyway, you might be thinking, this and that,
no,
but
I do appreciate that, and not to sound arrogant or cocky, like I know 100% in my soul that I will be where I want to be.
yeah, like you haven't underachieved.
But I do feel like I'm underachieving.
No,
Because maybe it's the things that like circulate my mind. Like I don't really.
yeah,
I have been told by people that's around me, like, oh, you don't take time to celebrate yourself. Oh, you don't take time to, to be happy about this or that. I'm like, bro, like it's because like my goal is
you're
like
nowhere
so
near,
here,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like
yeah,
here.
yeah,
So
of
it's
course,
like,
of course.
do you know what I mean? And there's so many things I can be doing better. And do you know what, like, the thing that bothers me? Like, people be like, oh my God, you're so smart. Or like, oh, you work hard. Or I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I can work harder. I can be more efficient. There are so many things I do not know. And that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there are so many things I need to research. There's so many systems that I can put in place that are more efficient, that can help me do my job better, that can help me make more money. That, like, there's so many ways of thinking, like mindset shifts that I don't know about, but I know there's better ways to think. I know
of
there's
course.
better ways to manage money. I know there's better ways to do so many different things. And so because I know that, it's like I don't like that. I know there is so much to learn.
Yeah, of course.
I personally don't feel that I'm anywhere near achieved.
But that's the thing that comes with.
I do not feel that way at all.
But obviously, that's the thing that comes with knowledge. Essentially, the true knowledgeable person is the more knowledgeable he gets, the more humbled he becomes, because he realizes he actually doesn't know that much. That there is but someone that's ignorant to something will be like, oh, you just need to, just a bit of this, a bit of that. But then once you're in there, you're like, no, there's this that I need to know, this that I need to know.
It's easy for someone to claim to be king of a very small castle.
Yeah, absolutely. That was bloody deep. That's a good one for the kids.
But it's true, and I've met so many people like it. I mean, so many people that bang on their chest about this and that, and it's like, well, it's it is easy to be king of a small castle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, it also comes with that thing of, like I said, it's just sometimes it's a bit of ignorance sometimes of not knowing how far. Obviously, because you want to get to a certain level, that some people, they just can't see more than that because they haven't been in a room where there is a lot more. They haven't spoken to people that are out here talking about craziness. Like, for example, if I sat next to like a billionaire, what he's talking about, I would be like, I wouldn't even know where to begin with that, you know? And it's kind of like that. The more you learn, the more you know, the more you realize, oh snap, I actually don't know that much.
Yeah. And that's why as well, when you're around certain people, you just need to shut up and listen. Like, for myself, it's like, when to I mean, maybe not everyone does, but like, whenever I'm around someone that's like rich, successful, or like whatever, like, I just shut up and listen, or I just got bare questions. I'm super inquisitive. Like, maybe people might think I'm a bit weird or annoying, but like, I just ask questions. And the thing is like, little tip to everyone, right? People like having their ego stroked. Just, if you ask people questions, they like it. They're not going to tell you, no, I'm not answering this. They're going to be like, oh, well, this person actually values
my
myself,
opinion.
so actually I'm going to like spill some beans here. And I think that, so I've read like a lot of self-help books and self-development books, blah, 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 blah. I don't really read anymore, to be honest.
Well, why would you say that?
Because it's just a form of entertainment. Because like, you can read all these books, but it's like, there's no thing like doing. Like, action equals reaction. Actually, sorry, I'm about to pivot off of what I was actually speaking about. So we're just gonna leave that. Listen, so I used to believe, I still do believe in the law of attraction and all these laws and this and that and manifesting, blah 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 blah. But listen, when I was early stages of my career and I didn't understand as much, like, it was more this mystical thing, and say my affirmations in the morning, and you gotta believe and see yourself where you want to be, and blah 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 blah. I still do all of this stuff, don't get twisted, just in case it is real, who knows. But as you learn more, what you realize is that 1 + 1 = 2.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is action equals reaction.
Yeah.
That is as simple as it gets.
Yeah. No
So
matter which way you look at it.
You can try and manifest all this shit.
Mm.
But if you're not doing what you need to do,
Yeah.
then you ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
that is
that's
it.
facts, yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
So like the more you do,
Mm.
even if you make mistakes, the further you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So inevitably, if you just keep doing, you're gonna get somewhere.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Absolutely.
But then also that what then needs to factor in is critical thinking, lateral thinking.
Yeah.
You need to also be able to recognize your mistakes and recognize what you've done wrong and look for feedback and search for feedback in yourself. And then you keep adjusting. And you look back and you're like, you know, like it's been a year and I was there a year and I was doing that a year and I like, oh, like you still feel the same.
Yeah.
But when you
But
look
you
back,
see,
you're like,
of course.
you know what I mean? And it's it's the little adjustments and these like epiphanies that you'll have maybe every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks or whatever that are really important
Mm.
because that's what's teaching you. And you have all these epiphanies over time. And then eventually it's like, you're a different person.
Completely different person.
You think different
Yeah.
and this and that. And
again,
yeah.
all of that starts with actually doing it.
exactly.
And not just, like you said, writing it down and, just wishing that it happens and
Exactly.
and
That is-
actually
that
getting
is-
on with it.
That is it. You just need to put yourself out there
Mm.
and like, yeah, man.
But obviously, I think that was a point also in Atomic Habits. I don't know if you've read that one
I
before.
know the book.
The
I
book.
haven't read it.
Never read it. Well, essentially, it was that it's making small changes that eventually lead to bigger changes.
Yeah.
And that's obviously what the book was talking about. I mean, obviously, I was told about it a lot, so I recently read it, and obviously, it's good. Before, when I was, we used to do books every week, and I
Mm.
wasn't really a big fan of self-help books
Mm.
because of that, really, because of it's just a lot of stuff like, oh, you gotta wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
and have one espresso and then start your day, and
Do you know,
you know,
the thing is with that stuff, yeah, is like, can I just say another thing? Like, people, as soon as like people, I think like, it's like, this is like entrepreneur starter pack.
yeah,
It's like, wake up early, cold shower, self-help
cold
book,
shower. That's
blah, blah, blah. Listen, yeah, you can get successful waking up at 12 p.m.
Mm.
every day, eating ice cream and doing whatever. You may not feel good,
Mm.
but you can still get successful
Yeah.
because the same law applies. 1 + 1 = 2. Action equals reaction. So
Mm.
it doesn't actually really matter what time,
what
of day
time
you
you're
wake
waking
up
up. Yeah,
or whatever. As long as you're getting done what needs to get done,
yeah,
that's all that matters. And as long as obviously you're able to speak to clients in a way and deal with things, make sales, blah, blah, blah. Here is why I think that this whole entrepreneur thing has this like, wake up at 4 a.m., have an espresso, do this, have a cold shower, is because what happens when you do actually do these things, when you wake up early, have the cold shower, have the an espresso or whatever, is it's about it then becomes about performance.
Mm.
Because when you're an entrepreneur, business person, business owner, you have to see yourself as like an athlete.
Okay, yeah,
Because like how you are as a person really does literally affect
yeah.
what's going on in your business
Yeah.
and what's going on around you. And typically, if you're waking up at 5 in the morning, you are going to work because there's nothing else to do at that time. There is nothing else to do. Like, you're not going to sit there and go on your phone and scroll Instagram because you did not wake up at 5 a.m. to do that.
yeah.
You're going to get straight up. And then once you're straight up, boom, you're going to sit and you're going to work. And you will find that you have just done like 4 or 5 hours work and you're like, fucking hell.
Yeah,
Boom, done.
it's only 10,
gonna have
10
that-
a.m. Yeah,
Yeah, you're going to have that cold shower. Cold showers are great. They're good for you. Number one, I think it just strengthens you a little bit mentally.
actually,
Yeah,
I
bro.
always felt a bit iffy about the cold ones. Yeah, I in the sense of like, what is it that I'll get from this that I won't get from a warm?
There are health benefits to
Mm.
it. And also, number two, I think it's more of a mental thing.
Mental
If you
thing,
can
yeah.
overcome getting in the cold shower and standing there and washing yourself and getting out,
Yeah,
like, it keeps your relationship with your day fresh.
okay.
I would say that
Yeah,
because it's difficult, but it's something that you have to do every day. And it's like, oh, it's cold. Like,
It's
obviously,
cold,
it gets
yeah,
easier
yeah.
and you do your breathing when you're doing it and whatever. Cool. that's like an accomplishment,
Mm.
and you feel like good,
Yeah,
another
yeah,
win.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
it's like you'll do your work, and it's like, oh my god, I've done all this work, and it's like now 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool, you're gonna go work out or do whatever.
Mm.
Boom, another accomplishment. Then you get back, and then you are in such a good headspace
Yeah.
because of your routine and your
Mm.
pattern. And so when you're in a good headspace, when you're really looking after yourself, when you've really got time to do things,
Yeah.
you're gonna be performing well.
Mm.
And so that's why I think that there is this like kind of thing about
Yeah.
waking up early and doing this and doing that. But I can tell you for a fact, it is not solely going to make you successful. It only helps you perform a bit
Yeah.
better.
No, of course. I mean, to be fair, even one of the points in the Atomic Habits was the shift in mentality of a wannabe artist, not saying, oh, he's trying to become an artist, but saying he is an artist. That small little change there makes the person feel like, oh, how I have to conduct myself, how I have to act
Yeah.
is now like an artist.
Yeah.
Would an artist do this? So I guess it's essentially just
Well, you are who
taking
you
that to
say you
extreme.
are at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That is that. The only thing that stops you from, being who you say you are is the validity. Is that
Validity?
the right word?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
depends on.
well, yeah, it's
context.
like if I say to you like I'm a businessman,
Yeah.
it's like, well, okay, cool. So then you gotta act like a businessman. You gotta
Yeah.
behave like a businessman, and then it's like, okay, well, you got all of these things, and it's like, do you have a business? Well, yeah. Boom,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You're a businessman. That's
Yeah.
it. You are
Mm.
who you say you are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's
You can't just sit
like-
down and say I'm
and
a
then you just
businessman.
yeah. So if you're like an artist, it's like, well, what do you do?
Yeah.
Do you make money from being an artist? Well, yeah. Then and then you just embody an artist. I don't know. It's the same with
No,
anything.
of course.
Maybe that doesn't make sense. I think I know what I
Nah,
mean, but
nah, it does. In a sense, it's just bringing back that do again to actually what you say you're doing, rather
Yeah.
than just
And
saying I'm a businessman, but
it's
you
not
don't have nothing to
yeah,
validate
yeah.
your
It's about
businessman title.
who you say you are to others. It's about who you say you are to yourself,
Mm.
and who you say you are when no one's around. You got to align these things.
That's deep, beard. That's some deep stuff.
You know what I mean?
That's
You got
that's
to
the
align them.
reality of it.
And listen, yeah, I'm such a big person on like morals, like
Yeah.
the girl, like but the reason why I say like people I'm friends with, the girls I'm dating, and then blah blah blah, because these are the people that listen to me ramble on the most and
Yeah.
talk about all of these things. I'm such a big morals person, right?
Mm.
And like, it does not like I have such strong morals
Yeah.
in the same morals I have in front of people, the same morals I have when I'm by myself.
Mm.
When I'm by myself, I will still get up, still go and work out, still be a good person. I
Yeah.
will still help that lady with her shopping. I will still make sure to give that homeless person some money if I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
money on me. I will still make sure to do these things when no one is around and in front of
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
When my girl stays, I will still or if I'm with her, I will still wake up in the morning.
Mm.
I will still do my working out because these are my morals. This is what I believe in. This is who
Yeah.
I am. This to
Yeah.
the core. I don't go out drinking. I don't do drugs. I don't do
Yeah.
none of this stuff. And it's when I'm by myself and when I'm around people, and that is what really will give you strength. And you might not, I don't know, it might not make sense, but to me, my morals give me strength because I know those are my pillars of who I am, and I know that is just no matter where I am, what situation I'm faced in, this is who I am. I built this inside of myself, so it doesn't matter where I am, what situation I'm in,
condition
whether
you're in,
financially or whatever. I know that I have that thing to rely on where it's
Yeah.
like I will still get up, I will still do this, I will still be that person, whether I feel happy, whether I feel sad, whether I'm heartbroken, whether someone in my family's died, or whether I've got no money or whatever. And that is your pillar of every person.
Absolutely.
It's the morals that you put in place for yourself.
Wow.
Sorry. That
No. Hey. This is what we encourage here. This is like I said, this is for the kids, and that is something that they can obviously take great benefit from, and a solid way to sort of begin wrapping it up. And I wanted to start a quick tradition here, and I'll start with you, because like I said, this is a podcast for mainly creatives, right? This is a podcast by creatives for creatives, and if you could, let's say, give a bit of advice or a recommendation, whether it's a book or a movie, to someone trying to start out in their creative journey, what would you recommend? It's a very
On your
vague-
creative journey,
yeah.
watch loads of tutorials on YouTube and copy how to do it.
It doesn't get. My brother does that now. He's become elite.
That is
Yeah.
it. Like, if you want to start your creative journey, or so in my next networking event, which is on the 28th, Connect and Conquer. Look us Connect and Conquer Network. Look us up on Instagram. Follow us. Stay in touch. So our next networking event, we are going to be talking on how creatives can monetize their art, and we're also going to be talking about how businesses can benefit from being around creatives and having creatives around. And for any creative out there, I think what you need to ask yourself first is how much it means to you and how much you're willing to put in. You also need to actually ask those around you, am I any good at this? Because I will be really like brutally honest. Like, if you're not good at something but you want to do it for a career, you probably should have a think about maybe not doing it, because you just like, I'm not like I'm
No,
I'm-
I get what you're saying.
you know what I mean? Because
just-
it's like
yeah.
like someone that can't actually sing, and you want to be a singer, you just need to give up on that and do something else, because like you're just gonna be chasing yourself. in
Sometimes
circles
it
all
is
day.
the
Not
the
to be
reality.
rude.
No,
Not
I know.
not to be like horrible. or
No,
anything.
obviously it comes across
But
blunt, but
if you are talented at something and you do have something good,
yeah,
or even if you're not great at something, hard work beats talent. So if you're 100% about something, you've analyzed yourself and considered whether you actually genuinely believe that you can, do that or not.
yeah,
Then after that stage, do everything you humanly possibly can to achieve said goal. Once you've done absolutely everything, you cannot think of anything else that you could possibly do, and you've done that for 5 years straight, everything. I mean, to be honest, you're going to be somewhere. And if you aren't, then just keep going anyway. Why not?
Wow.
Got one life.
Kai Beard, ladies and gentlemen, what a guy.
Thank you for having me.
No, honestly, I appreciate it. And like I said, it's been a great convo. This has been a solid convo.
No, I really enjoyed it.
Nah,
It's been great.
To be fair, I should have known you was able to not just come on the podcast, but to be able to give so much value, because not many people can rock off a yellow shirt. I should have known from then. I was like, I'm working with something else here.
As I said, it's all a distraction. 2 hours sleep as well. 2 hours sleep.
That's what I'm saying. But I really do appreciate you coming on.
Nah, bro,
It's been a
thank you
solid
so much.
episode,
I
and
really do
can't wait
appreciate it.
for this to go out.
Yeah, I
people.
look forward to watching this, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
bleep all the swearing in that. But
And of course,
Yeah.
it's gonna take me time, but it is what it is. Nah, I appreciate you coming on.
thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Wicked.
Thanks for listening to the Paper Trails podcast. If you like this episode, please leave a review, comment, like, and subscribe. And be sure to follow us on all our socials.
Keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.